Hey guys, there's been a major shift, and a lot of people have realized that they can work remotely. And if they're working remotely, they're no longer tied to one place. They're no longer tied to one city or even country where they need to work from. So, because of this shift, there's a lot of countries that are looking for other talent, looking for people to come to their countries. And the benefit is that these kind of people, whether it's a remote work, whether they're actually doing freelancing, whether they're digital nomads, they're bringing in their foreign income into that local economy without competing for the local jobs. So, what this means is they're renting apartments, they're eating at restaurants, they're supporting the local businesses, and countries are actively competing to attract these kind of people. Now, why some people are exploring these options are for many people moving abroad from US, from Canada, from many different countries is not just about it's not rejecting their country. It's more about having many different options. And some of the major reasons that people are saying is because of the cost of living. Everything is going up, right? The rising cost of living, and they have that flexibility. People are interested in building different connections globally. People are interested in learning about different cultures, lifestyle, and also money, especially the dollar, can go way more further in different countries. So, what they're doing is actually they can have the same sort of lifestyle or maybe even a better lifestyle in other parts of the world, but their income or their cost of living, their income goes up and their cost of living goes down. So that's where the digital nomad visas come in. And I was looking at some of the new programs that are available, and I wanted to share with you some of the most talked about programs around the world. So let's start off with Spain. There's a lot of people right now with the changes in, different places around the world. A lot of people are looking into Spain, and so there's a visa length of 1 or 3 years. And a really cool part about this is there's permanent residency that's possible. So they've changed some of the rules, and people can get permanent residency after 5 years. So first, the path is actually to go establish a base there, to look at it, to see how people like it. And the income requirement that you need to show when you're applying for the visa, digital nomad visa, is 2,800 euros per month, which means you need to show that you have that much of income coming in outside of that country, the host country, so that way you can live in these places. Another one is Malta. People are going to Malta as well. It's a tiny little island, but very beach friendly, and it's a Mediterranean location, really good weather. And there's a lot of nomads living there, in different communities as well. And English is widely spoken, so the application could be anywhere from 1 to 4 years. And the minimum income requirements you need is 3,500 euros per month. There's also Malaysia. So if you look into Asia, there's a lot of countries in Asia that's very popular. And one of it is the Rantu Nomad Pass from Malaysia. And you need anywhere from 2,000 to $5,000 per month. And visa length is all the way to 2 years, which is pretty good in my opinion. So there's a lot of people who are in marketing, in IT, in tech, who are nomads. They're working online. They could be doing consulting. They could be doing programming. And so a lot of people are looking into these kind of places. And then you also have other places like Greece, and it's very similar to Malta. Same thing. You can go in there and establish permanent residency. They also have some tax incentives, and you have this kind of like, Mediterranean and island lifestyle, which a lot of people like. Now, one of the favorites that I like is Thailand, and they have a DTV visa, which is a destination Thailand visa. There's no income requirement per se, but you need to have about 13 to 15,000 or so in savings. And you need to show that you have a proof of money to support yourself when you're there, and you're not really applying for specific jobs over there, right? Because they want to make sure that the people are coming in with their talent, but they're pouring in the money into that specific place. And the visa is valid for 5 years. Now you have, stays up to 6 months, 180 days per entry. And then you need to extend it. So it's always very flexible in that sense. So it's a great place for people who are freelancers or someone who's doing creative work. If you're an entrepreneur or a content creator, this is a great place. Now, there are a couple of other places in Europe, Slovenia. I think there's also Sri Lanka that's recently opened up their nomad visa, Uruguay. Um, I don't know too much about these, but you can look online if you're interested in these places. Another popular one is Indonesia, which is Bali, very popular because it's of the location, the culture, the food. And the visa length there is up to 6 years. So it's a pretty good program and it's very popular for a lot of nomads. There's a big community there and you can apply online and you need to show anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 per month that you have this income coming in. And as I was mentioning, Sri Lanka is a popular one. So there are all these different ones coming up. And, there was an independent study done by Time Out magazine and there are several Asian countries that are ranking really high on the digital nomad movement. And as I was mentioning before, there's Thailand, Japan, Indonesia, Taiwan, Malaysia is very popular, South Korea, Philippines, and there's many other places and there's smaller places as well. A lot of the study was based on they evaluated the cost of living, they evaluated the income requirements, how long the processing takes and also the treatment and the transparency that they have. So when people apply for these programs, they want to make sure that they have good residency conditions where people can come in. And once they apply for it, they can, the process is not too complicated. So these are the things that are very important for people because I think a lot of people are very interested right now in looking at places where the dollar stretches more, right? And secondly, there's, a lot of, different things that are happening around the world. People are looking for options where they feel, especially with the cost of living, with inflation in US, people feel that they want to go in, at least temporarily, if not permanent, they want to go and check out other places to see what life is like in these other places. Now, UAE also has a Dubai remote work visa program and it's a 1 year program, 1 year visa, and it's renewable. There's also another place called Ras Al Khaimah, and they also have their own structure, their own programs. And so, if for these, I think you need to show about $3,000 to $4,000 per month, and it requires health insurance. I think pretty much all of these require you to have health insurance. Some of these, you can go there and you can apply for a private health insurance and you can just pay out of pocket. And so this is like, for a lot of people, they do want to go to places where they have really good medical facilities. So it's a great place, in my opinion. If you want to think about it, the big picture, people are moving in droves. The trend is clear, and there are a lot of countries that are adapting their systems to track these people, right? Entrepreneurs, freelancers, remote workers, and each destination has its own uniqueness, right? And what it signals is there are a lot of talented people and there are people who want to live a good life, right? It's not about work all the time. The people want to enjoy that flexibility. So people are going to Thailand for the culture, the flexibility. There's a lot of digital nomad hubs as well. So it gets really cool to go and find people like you or find people who are of the same talent or they're interested in meeting others like them. And very multicultural as well. Same thing with Malaysia. Japan is increasing as well. There's a lot of people who are moving there, Indonesia, and Dubai, and there's Qatar and so on. So the bottom line is pretty much that mobility is no longer just living in one place. And people are expecting that they want to go and live in travel and, work at the same time in these different places. They want to meet new communities, like make new friends, build global networks. So you have friends, you have people that you can collaborate with, and they're all in different places. So it becomes easy, especially with this whole kind of like the globalization that's happening everywhere. Digital nomad visas are making it easy, simple, and a lot of countries are realizing that people are curious. People have the money, and if they have the money, they want to bring them in to improve their their the talent pool. They want to bring a lot of people in. The economy is better. They're also building a lot of new infrastructure. So visit the places, check out if you're really curious. Go there, visit the place, see what it's like, see how the lifestyle feels before you actually make that decision. And then finally, you can choose that base that fits your goals because what I'm seeing in terms of the trend is it's only growing right now, and I think it's going to get really big. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.